consider them as family.
Yeah. And the way you've grown together over the years, like you said, 3 years ago, didn't even really know each other, and now you got to be brothers, basically.
Pretty much.
The life of a student athlete is not easy. Between practices and games, they got classes, pop quizzes, tests, homework, and more in order to maintain that balance of the academic requirements that are needed to be a student athlete. But when you live in Sierra Vista and you're part of a club team that's based out of Phoenix, that adds an additional degree of complexity. And these two students who we're going to talk to today, along with the support of their families, are making it happen. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Ed Morse Student Athlete of the Month, brought to you by the Morse Automotive Group. Sierra Vista and Cochise County is backed by Morse. We are live in the Cool FM studios here in Sierra Vista to talk to two athletes. Believe it or not, we get to talk to two Student Athletes of the Month. Everybody say hello to Chase Taylor. Everybody say hello. You're saying hello right now in the live chat. And everybody say hello to CADEN KNIPPEL. CADEN, good to see you. Chase, great to see you guys. Oh my gosh. So you guys have basically been playing competitive soccer for your entire life. Has that been the only sport that you focused on so far, or have you done other sports as well?
I've done other sports. I played basketball, but that was it. I didn't take it anything competitively as much as I did soccer. So that was all I did, is soccer growing up. That's it.
Amazing. And Caden, for yourself, what other sports do you enjoy playing?
All I did was soccer, but recently I've had maybe thought of playing track because of my speed, but that's it. Mostly just soccer.
It's interesting. I think there is a big correlation between soccer and track. They do say during a soccer game you basically run the equivalent of a marathon every soccer game. So would you, with your speed, would you look for, if you were to look at track, would you look at something more long distance, or would you look at maybe a 400 meter or a 100 meter, something short sprint distance?
I would probably look for a 200 meter because I can't run that far, like really fast. It's mostly just my initial speed.
The starting speed, the 0 to 60,
right,
if you will.
Yeah.
That's awesome. By the way, before we continue on, I forgot to ask, how old are you, Chase?
I'm 15 years old.
And you will be going into what grade at this?
I will be going into 10th grade.
Yeah, you will be a sophomore at?
Buena High School.
At Buena High School, which is what we love to hear. And Caden, for you, what grade will you be in the fall?
Sorry. I'm going into my freshman year, and I'm 14.
And you'll be going to Buena as well. Now, where were you in 8th grade? Where did you play? Or what school did you go to?
Lehman Academy.
At Lehman. Okay, awesome. Well, we know the athletic director there at Lehman. We know Jared.
Yeah.
Coach Young. I've known him. We actually met him when I was in high school. I'm that old. I mean, but I look younger than he does, and that's all that matters. No, I'm kidding. You know I love you, Jared. Let's talk about where you played. So for the last 3 years, you guys have been a part of RSL in Phoenix. We'll talk about RSL and what it is and how you got there. What did you do before RSL 3 years ago? Which teams did you play for down here?
I played for Sierra Vista Soccer Club. I don't think it's going anymore, but that's what I played. I grew up with all my friends. I actually played with him even before. We didn't really know each other. We were just on the same team, you know. We just played together. It was fun. I just went out there to have fun. That was it. It wasn't really like, this is what's going to be my life in the next 3 years. This is how it's going to be. You went out and you played, and you went home and you played video games. That's how it was. And yeah, it was a good, I had a great time with that team. And
Caden, how about you? Which club teams around here, or which school teams did you play with and play for?
I played a bunch of rec when I was little, and then I joined it was called the Sounders, which that was the team that we played on for I think about a year.
Yeah.
And then I left that. I went to CAC. Coronado. I played that for about a year, and then I got the chance to play with RSL.
Well, let's talk about that. How does the chance to play for RSL come about? Do you just decide, hey, I've reached the peak that I can do at Coronado, or is there a tryout process? What was that like?
I don't remember how exactly we got the chance. I think it was from Fred.
It was from our coach, Fred Bennett.
We'll talk about Coach Bennett. I've got some questions about him as well.
He initially was like, this is happening, I think your boys could do this. So we went up, I tried out, and then I think he came on a little bit later, and because Fred knew his ability, and he was like, he could play with this team. So he came out to one of the practices, and he made it, I made it, and it was a great start. Like, it was awesome.
So what was that tryout like? You had to go up to Phoenix, and you're there. How many other kids were trying out for the team?
I would say there's about 50 to 60 kids, and
there's only a limited number of slots that are available.
Yeah, about 18 slots. So it was very tight margin.
And you're playing against, not playing against, but you're competing against kids who are, young student athletes like yourself, who are from the Valley, who are from Tucson, because they probably come from all over. Yeah. It's not just Valley-based.
Yeah. There's a couple kids on our team that are actually from Tucson.
Okay.
Our goalkeepers from Tucson. So yeah, it's a lot of players that come out, a lot of competition, and we just happen to be picked, be selected. What
was that like when you got that call to say, this is going to be our future, with this amazing RSL team?
It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. Yeah.
Talk about RSL. What is RSL? How long have they been around? Do you know the legacy, or how many years it's been a club up in the Valley?
I don't know exactly, but I know it's a while. You'd have to ask him. He knows more about soccer stuff.
I don't know how long RSL Arizona has been going on. I mean, it's been a while, I think, but I'm not sure. I have no idea how long RSL's been going on.
But if you think about the competitive nature at that level, do you guys see a difference between, obviously, playing at Lehman, playing at Buena, playing at Coronado, and then with the Coronado League, and then coming up to RSL? What is that difference like?
It was so much of a difference. Like, when I played for CAC, the kids were good, but it's just when I started playing for RSL, it's like, geez, where have these kids been all along? Like, such good teammates. They know the game a lot. The competition is amazing. It's so good to see that everybody loves the game so much and practices all the time.
Yeah, it's good competition. Like, it's not just Arizona. We go to Colorado, Utah, and we see these kids that are like, those kids are gonna be good. Like, they're good. Like, we see good competition all the time. I mean, we're not the highest level. They're still MLS Next, but these kids are still just, they're good.
Well, we'll get to the MLS. I think that's a part of this journey and a part of this story that will continue on. But for RSL itself, you mentioned that you play against teams not just in Arizona. So RSL, not only is it a club team, but you're playing against other states, not just in this state. What was the most recent travel out-of-state tournament that you went to?
He recently went to California. I was on vacation, so I didn't make that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess you could tell him about California.
Yeah. How was that?
There was a ton of teams there. It was mostly just Cali teams.
Okay.
Mostly just saw surf, but there was E64. There was MLS 2011s. So we were playing younger kids, but we're higher
level.
Yeah, higher level.
Wow.
But yeah, there should have been a couple other states, but we only played ones from Cali.
Amazing. And talk about what a typical week is like for you guys. So most people have practices here in Sierra Vista at their own school, at their own sports league, whether it's the youth league or something like that. What does the average week look like for you guys who compete at a level that's literally a 3-hour drive away? What is your practice day?
So our practice days, we usually practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we try to get in the gym as much as we can whenever we find time.
Are all those practices up in Phoenix?
So just the Wednesday practice is up in Phoenix.
Okay, so every Wednesday. Yeah. Talk about what a Wednesday looks like for you.
So Wednesday, come home from school. You got to get ready immediately because we're out of school at for me, I'm at 12, which is Buena, but he's different. But now we're gonna be the same time. you would get out of school, eat. You'd have about, for me, I'd have like an hour and 2 hours, and then I'd have to get ready, and then Dad says, get in the car, we go pick him up, and then we're up to Phoenix. And then once we get there, practice, you practice for about an hour, half hour, 2 hours, and then come home. We usually get home we eat first, of course, we eat dinner, and then once we drive home about 2 hours, 3 hours, 3 hour drive.
Yeah.
And then we get home like 11, 12, sometimes depends.
And this is a school night. You're talking a school night, and the dedication, and it's a work night for your parents who have work the next day as well. What does that dedication say about your parents being involved to this degree?
That they care about us a lot, and they want us to follow our goals, and they're willing to do basically anything for us to reach those.
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, they're awesome. Everything they do for us, we're so thankful.
So what's going to happen when you guys start driving in a couple years? Are you going to be able to make that drive yourself, or are you still going to have the parents chauffeur you?
I don't think my dad would let me. I don't know about that. I think he still thinks we're young, and I don't think he.
I think you're young too. I mean, look, I don't disagree with him, but
I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think we'd drive ourselves up. Maybe when we're like 18 and we're.
But then you'll be in
19,
MLS, so it won't matter. I mean, it'll be the next level up. But okay, so a typical game is in Arizona, though, right? You're playing other. Like almost Premier League, the equivalent of the Premier League team, right? Is that what you're doing? Who you play against for games? And what days are games?
We usually have games on the weekends. Okay. It's always on the weekends because that's just when all our teammates are free. Games are usually, it just depends. Tournaments are always in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. But our league games, our elite academy games, they could be from like Utah. We might be going to Utah the weekend, or we might be going to Colorado.
Yeah.
So it just really depends what we have. And I think we also go to New Mexico. We went to New Mexico this year? No, I don't think we did.
No, we didn't go to New Mexico.
Okay, but that'll be coming up. I mean, again, when you're in the region, I mean, it seems like you're literally in the mountain region or the western region, being able to go to these different states and experience different things and travel, do stuff that you're doing. Now, speaking of travel, before I get to this, let's talk about travel. You got a big Elite Academy national tournament that's coming up.
Yeah.
It's not going to be in New Mexico. It's not going to be in Albuquerque. It's not going to be in San Diego or Colorado. You're going to go to Missouri for this thing.
Yeah.
You're going to St. Louis, and it's literally next week. We're talking it's going to be going on the 18th through the 22nd of June. How excited are you guys for this? What are you looking forward to?
Very excited, because the past few years that we've been on this team, we've missed nationals by just a goal or two. So being able to finally make this with this team, we are very confident in going into this, and we feel like we have a really good chance of winning it.
Now, because this is a national tournament and it's several days, is it right when you hit the ground, you guys are playing a game, or are you going to get there a day early? What's the plan?
We get there on Wednesday, which is a day early, and then we play our first game Thursday, and I think our coach said we might have training that Wednesday to get us game ready. Maybe, possibly, I'm not sure. Just to see kind of how the conditions are in St. Louis, because it's different. It's humid, it's hot, and it's not Arizona hot, which is dry heat. It's it's wet, like the air is wet.
Yes, it is.
So maybe we'll do that and get used to the weather, and then it wouldn't be like a long practice, like 30 minutes. And then we hit the ground running on Thursday.
Do you know, is it set up like a national tournament where you know where your ranking is and where you're at in the bracket and who you're going to be playing and stuff? So what other teams across the country are going to be? I mean, so usually when you play the mountain region, you're playing against Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, California. It's the entire country, right?
Yeah, entire country. So we are currently third seed, which we play first a team from California, Tonka Fusion. Yeah, Tonka Fusion.
Okay.
And then the other two seeds in front of us aren't from California. One team is from Texas, and then the other team, which is called DME, is first seed, and they are from Florida, I think. So it's cool. I really hope we get one of those teams in the final.
Yeah. What a neat thing. And how many games would it take, or how many wins would it take for you to get to the final?
Four wins.
It is 4. Okay.
4 wins
All right.
to hold the trophy.
Now, obviously, soccer is one of the huge team sports. It really does take all 11 on the field to make it happen. You guys are only 2 out there. Talk about the rest of your RSL Elite Academy team.
These kids are something. Yeah, we have a bunch of class players, and everybody wants it. We are all focused. I don't know what else. We're focused. We're dedicated, and
well, the level of dedication that you guys have. Is there anyone else from Southern Arizona who's a part of the team? You said Tucson, but anybody south of Tucson, like anybody from Nogales or from Douglas or anything like that? So you guys are it for the RSL representation of all of Cochise County.
Right, yeah.
Well, we know how proud you're going to make us coming up at that tournament and as your career continues. Now, this is Student Athlete of the Month, or in this case, Student Athletes of the Month. We want to talk about the academic side. When you travel that much, do you get a good amount of time to study while you're in the car? Do you utilize that time for just video games or for studying as well?
I mean, every now and then I'll have to study, but most of the time it's kind of like I try to find other times because it's hard when you're using your phone to study because our Chromebooks don't work on the way up. I think the only thing that I really do is paperwork sometimes, but not rarely. It's rarely.
Yeah, it's same with me. I mean, it's more enjoyable just to either sleep or just watch the window as you drive.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
So when do you find the time to study then? Just on your, obviously not the travel days. It's on the other days of the week.
We usually study more on the other days of the week. Sometimes it's easier in the hotel, just because you can work.
Because you're at a chair, at a desk, it feels more natural.
Yeah.
In that kind of environment.
Yeah. So we usually just use our Chromebooks in the hotel. I mean, rarely. We still do it rarely. But if we need to, that's what we do. And then we find other days to study. I mean, sometimes I would have to like wake up earlier in the mornings to get my homework done from last night that I didn't do because I was up in Phoenix.
Right.
Yeah. It's just so I know that I have to walk in and turn it in. So.
Well, let's talk about your freshman year at Buena. What was one of your favorite classes or subjects?
I really enjoyed my math teacher geometry class. He just made it so interesting.
Give him a shout out.
Ryan Taylor. He's awesome. I like the guy a lot. And our project that we did was so cool. We did it in Minecraft. That was my favorite class.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, at Lehman Academy last year, did you have a favorite subject or favorite teacher?
Mine was also math. I really liked math because I did algebra. I was one of the few people who did algebra, and like the other kids did the other stuff. And then I also really liked my science teacher because we did a ton of experiments, and he made that class so fun and actually made me want to learn science.
What I've seen more and more over the years talking to young student athletes like yourself is that STEM influence, the science, technology, engineering, math, and how engaging that is and how they're making it more engaging, even more so than when I was a student a million years ago when we were inventing fire, and being able to do this in a way that watching it unfold and you guys having the opportunity you have to be able to do something like this is pretty incredible. Now, we did say there's no other students south of Tucson other than you guys, but let's go back to talking about Coach Bennett. Coach Bennett is from Sonoita.
Yeah.
Now, Sonoita, obviously our next door neighbor here in Cochise County, right across the county line in Santa Cruz County. How often are you able to get together with him, and how ideal is that to have one of your coaches living in our neck of the woods?
Yeah, it's awesome because he's literally right there. He'll come by, stop by every now and then too. We do on Thursdays we'll do a practice, and then sometimes he'll come over and we'll do video. And we'll watch the videos of our games and do breakdown and analysis of what we did wrong, what we did right, and how we can fix that and do better next time.
That's amazing. And do you feel the same way having your coach right here?
It's really simple.
How often do you get together with him? So you have your Wednesday practices up in Phoenix, but then the other practices are exclusively with him, and where do you go for these practices?
So we practice with him on Thursdays, which we either go to the Domingo Paez fields or I forget the other ones.
Sear?
Sear, yeah.
Yeah, Sear Fields, yeah.
Which we just work on agility sometimes, shooting, just moves, technical work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't ask you guys, is what position you play.
I play a 10, and sometimes I play in like an 8 or a 6. I usually just play in the midfield.
Okay.
And then I'm a striker and left to right wing.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Well, before we wrap this thing up, one more time, the dedication, first of all, that you guys have to your craft for 3 years, driving up 3 hours one way just to go practice for an hour and a half on a school night, on a work night for your parents. Again, if your parents happened to be here, what would you say to them?
I love you. I love my parents. They're so amazing. They do everything for us. I love you. You know, I love his parents too. They're awesome. You know, and we couldn't really do this without them.
Yeah, I love both my parents very much for letting me do this and having the chance to. I also thank his parents a lot for letting me stay over at nights so that we could leave early for games, and paying for me when I didn't have food. I mean, sometimes or most of the time I consider them as family.
Yeah. And the way you've grown together over the years, like you said, 3 years ago, didn't even really know each other, and now you got to be brothers, basically.
Pretty much.
Through this experience, through the RSL Elite Academy experience. You're 14, you're 15. When does the next step happen? What is the next step after RSL Elite Academy, and can you see it from here?
The next step for us, most likely college.
Yeah.
Our Elite Academy, RSL Arizona, sends a lot of kids to colleges. I mean, it might be lower level colleges. Kids go to D1, D2, D3 all the time. And that's pretty much what we're looking for. We're going to be in the next couple years, we're sending out emails to coaches, our videos. He has his videos, I have my videos. Yeah. We're going through apps like, what app do you use?
NCSA.
Yeah, and then I use Sports Recruit to contact all these college coaches, and that's what our future looks like for now, is contacting camps, you know, and that's pretty much it.
Are there any schools in particular that you're already eyeing that you'd like to be a part of their soccer program? Or is it just like, hey, I've still got high school to play. Yeah. I still got to go through this.
Whoever will accept me.
I mean, I have where I want to go. I want to go to GCU, Grand Canyon State University.
I've heard of that place. I actually went there. That's cool.
And just because it's so close to home.
Lopes up. Go Lopes.
It's Christian, and I can just still be in Arizona. And it's D1. It's the highest level. You're at the highest level, but I can still make a drive to go see my family, you know.
And there's a lot of advantages there.
Yeah, and then with my app, I actually have an ID session. I got invited to an ID session with GCU, which I don't know if I'm going to go, but it's good that they're looking at me, and so if I want to go, I have the chance to.
And most importantly, before we wrap up, what school will you be playing for this coming fall/winter?
Buena High School.
Buena High School. Yeah. That's exactly the right answer, and that's what we want to hear. We can't wait to watch you guys on the field together at Buena. I think that's. Right. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, I really am.
Going to that level there, trying to play at the high school level, and then being able to use that. How will you balance? How does that balance work with RSL and Buena? Who takes priority, or do they happen at the same time? Is there overlap?
It can't overlap. It's a conflict of interest. So like, once we have a gap in our club season where it'll stop for like 2 or 3 months, so you go play high school, and then you come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there won't be any sort of, it's like, oh, now I have to choose this weekend. Am I going to go play for RSL, or am I going to play for Buena? It'll be exclusive Buena, and then back to RSL during the Buena off season, if you will, and all the exciting things to look forward to. Well, Chase, Caden, we're so proud of you guys, and we're absolutely honored to be able to say that you are our Ed Morse Student Athletes of the Month. Brought to you by the Ed Morse Automotive Group. Sierra Vista and Cochise County is backed by Morse. Take a look at these faces. Take a look at at their names on the screen because they are the future, the present and future of Buena High School soccer and soccer all across Arizona and so far beyond. We wish you guys the best of luck as you head to St. Louis. Have a great time. Thanks for representing Cochise County and doing everything that you possibly can to make us smile for all your team, all the RSL teammates. Give them a big hug and a high five. And we cannot wait to keep in touch with you and watch your careers grow and continue to develop. And we can't wait to see what the future holds for you guys. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Have a great day, everybody. And again, thank you to the Morse Automotive Group for sponsoring our Student Athlete of the Month segment. And if you know a student athlete who should be shown a spotlight like this, let us know in the comments section, and we will absolutely take a look at them, and hopefully they will be sitting in these chairs sometime in the near future for the very next Ed Morse Student Athlete of the Month segment. As always, if you get any added value here on Cool FM Live, leave us a thumbs up, leave us a follow. Have a great day, everybody, and keep up the great work. Woo! Yeah, you guys are awesome. Oh my goodness, fantastic.